Eskom has dismissed allegations of a list of those who will have their electricity switched off in certain parts of Soweto in Gauteng. Soweto residents recently embarked on a violent protest calling on Eskom to restore power in their areas. The power utility disconnected electricity to non-paying residents and those with illegal connections. Now let's discuss this further. We're joined via Zoom by Nhlanhla Lux, Soweto Parliament member. Mr. Lux, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon and agreeing to speak to us.
Hi, thank you for having me, and hi to all the viewers.
Now, Mr. Lux, Eskom wants residents to pay just over 6,000 rands as a reconnection fee. Let's get your reaction on this, apart from obviously the latest, which is, those reports that were circulating about Eskom having sent a list to Soweto residents.
Yes, I mean, to be honest with you, just that alone tells you that Eskom as a business is actually disconnected to the reality on the ground. If you understand your consumers, you understand your business, you know that's not a practical ask, something that you can ask from your consumers. I mean, 6,000 rand per household from households that live off 350 amongst other government grants is just ridiculously insane. And, Eskom can dismiss the fact that it has a list that targets the whole of Soweto. I mean, we've heard the mayor speak about how Soweto will pay back this electricity one way or another. We've heard it from the past few years that Eskom is really out for Soweto. Look at social media, look at traditional media, look at what people are talking about. I mean, Soweto is a clear target, and people from Soweto, to be honest with you, this has not only been a serious downfall in terms of the attack, but it has given us an opportunity to unite. And the world knows what happens when Soweto unites, because when Soweto unites, 1976 will tell you a beautiful story of unity in Soweto. I can go on in history. And 2021, 2022, we're seeing another type of unity that we saw lost in 76. And the world will be a better place because Soweto is uniting. That I can promise you.
Mr. Lux, before we talk about just some of the comments that you're making now, and I'm not sure if they're threats or what they are, but you said you spoke about realities on the ground and that the leadership is disconnected.
Yeah.
Paint a picture for us about what those realities on the ground are. I'm asking you this question because Soweto residents, and there's a blanket being put across them that there is a culture of non-payment. There's also a culture of stealing electricity from those that are paying for the electricity. And some people actually saying that it is unfair that they have to live in an area where they are in the dark and have to go to work, but they are paying for electricity. So what are these realities that you speak of?
So even just how you are saying it, right? And I'm not blaming you. It's just how everyone is conditioned to speak and think when they think of Soweto and power. You're conditioned to saying there's a culture of electricity being stolen. But if I give you proper stats on the ground that actually the minority of our people are connecting illegally, then you'll be very shocked at the reality, because right now we're just working with what Eskom is giving us.
These are not my statements, so I'm not conditioned. These are statements that came out very early.
That's why I'm excusing you. I've excused you personally. That's why I'm saying just how we all reason and how we think around the issue. To be honest with you, minority of our people in Soweto have connected illegally. For Eskom to come and take a blanket approach and prosecute the majority and find everyone guilty without even a trial is just illegal. Forget unfair. It's plain illegal. It's even against the Constitution. But Eskom acts as if their policies as a business are policies that are above the Constitution of this country. Again, I'll make reference. In Parkhurst, in Bryanston, there are houses that are connected illegally, some that owe Eskom serious money, but they will never dare to switch off the whole of Sandton or Bryanston. But Soweto has become an exception because why? The people in Soweto must be a target. They must explain to us why we are a target. But all we are saying is we are not trying to access electricity for free. Our people are saying that we have gone past that point. That's actually an old statement to even explore. We have proven as community that we are prepared to pay. Deep Blue Zone 3 has paid 500 Rand into the Eskom account over just a short notice of time. Before that, before the Deep residents paid the 500 Rand, they had no formal way of paying Eskom. Why? Because Eskom as a business doesn't have the infrastructure or the admin on the ground. Even the admin that was ran now for the community to be able to run this process of paying, it was done by the ground leadership. It wasn't done by Eskom. Eskom doesn't have the people necessary on the ground to execute such a process. So these are the realities on the ground that we're speaking about. And the last one is that when you look at illegal connections in Soweto, the people that work for Eskom are behind those illegal connections. So it's actually very fair and safe for me to say that the downfall of Eskom is Eskom, because even the subcontractors that are employed to come and fit in meters and other supplies for Eskom, they really do the job. So they loot Eskom, and Eskom then wants our people to pay for their own downfall. So they need to check their processes and check themselves, because if they continue to target us for things we haven't done or things that aren't our responsibility, we're going to at some point have to respond. And we don't mind responding. It's not a problem.
So as we speak now, 700 families are without power, and a lot of those are from a deep sleut zone 3, as we've just spoken about. Earlier, you made statements saying that you are prepared to fight this. What is your plan?
Yeah, look, it's not even a doubtful thing. Eskom is at the center of undermining the South African Constitution. If someone wants to arrest anyone for instigating violence, they must go arrest the CEO of Eskom and everyone around Eskom who is deciding to speak on behalf of Eskom. But now when people respond, we are being reactive. We are not taking action. We are being reactive. At some point, we must protect ourselves. And let me tell you what some of the consequences will be. We will make sure that Eskom and everyone else in this country feels our pain. Whether it's unfair or not, we'll discuss it at the end. People will feel our pain, but the last thing we're going to do as Soweto is that we're not going to continue the culture of our parents, because in 76 and so forth, our parents had to burn tires because the government couldn't hear them and because they were fighting the government. In this case, we are not fighting the government. We are fighting Eskom. But if the government is not going to help us fight Eskom, we're going to start seeing the government as an enemy, and it's going to be a problem. So immediately we had few campaigns running that, yes, we're going to stop guys from burning tires and causing potholes, and we're going to stop guys from destroying infrastructure in Soweto. Instead, we're going to take the problem we're going to take the fight to where the problem comes from, and the problem is Eskom. So we will attack Eskom with everything we have. We will attack it in the boardroom, we'll attack it in court, we'll attack it on the streets. And we are saying it, we are not scared of saying it, because they are publicly violating the Constitution and no one is saying anything. And if people want to talk a lot because we are standing up for ourselves when nobody's standing up for us, then they can continue talking. We actually do not care. But from this point forward, if there's no solution, if our people in Deep Blue don't get electricity, our people in Naledi don't get electricity, our people in Tladi, Mlezane, I can call all these areas that the media is not even talking about right now. It's not only Deep Blue Zone 3, by the way. If our people in Soweto don't get this electricity, then you will understand what the energy of 1976 had in store for the whole country and the world, because it's there now. Our people have united. We are ready to act. We're just waiting to see what's happening so that we take action that's informed and not action that is reckless.
All right, Mr. Lux, I'm afraid that's where we have to leave it for now, but thank you so much for your time. It is obviously very concerning when we will be resorting to violence, but it is what it is. We'll definitely have you back on air to just speak to you about what the latest is, and if anything, what the solutions are, from the city of Johannesburg as well as Eskom.